The following podcast is taken from a live broadcast on Inspire FM.
Any health advice given, whether general, diet, physical or spiritual, is general only and must be verified by your doctor. If you need medical advice, please consult a doctor.
Assalamu alaikum to all our listeners and viewers. I welcome you all to another exciting and educating edition of the Health and Fitness Show. I'm Fahad Matin, your host for today, and I hope and pray that all of us are fit and healthy by the grace of Almighty Allah. I do pray that we all had a nice and positive week so far and looking forward for a nice and relaxing weekend. This program is broadcasting live today on 1st of August 2019 and casting from the studios of Inspire FM and casting its positive vibes to all our lovely people in Luton. Positive vibes going all across Luton and the surrounding areas of Luton like Dunstable, Harpeth and Bedford. And our positive airways reaching all our listeners who are listening us via Inspire FM website, web app or from Facebook Live. Yes, indeed, we are live on Facebook Live. If you're listening this show on Sunday or any other Thursday other than 1st of August 2019, that means it's a repeat. But hey ho, let's begin our show. After such a long time, my co-host, my friend in arms, my very dearest brother is back with us today. He is none other than my co-host, brother Leo Nazar. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Walaikum salam, brother.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. How are yourself?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And he's not alone. He came along with his mini him. It means his elder son, his right arm, his everything, his wealth of his life. His and Assalamu alaikum, son.
Assalamu alaikum.
What's your name?
Deen Nazar.
Deen Nazar. Welcome to our show again. Remind me, when were you here last time? You were here when you were showing me about the kickboxing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. And how are you, my brother?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you, sir.
And it's really nice to have you back on the show, man.
It's good to be back. I missed all the listeners, I'll be honest, all the followers and yourself. I have been very, very busy. Mum's not been in the best of health neither, and really we've been a bit busy with the home duties. So I'm sorry to say, you guys, I am actually now back.
All our du'as and our prayers are with your mum. May Allah grant her health and best of health.
Shukriya,
and get her well soon, inshallah. And guys, if you want to get in touch with us, you can call us on 01582 481822, or you can text your questions or WhatsApp on 07779, questions on email or messages or WhatsApp on 07779 481822. Now, because it's a holiday week for kids, and that's why we have the little Nazar is here as well. So why don't we cater a show? So today's show is basically catering our young fellows, or we can say our kids, our future. So today's show, the topic of today's show is kids exercise and activities. Yes, indeed. You have heard me correctly. We are talking about kids exercise and activities.
Right. Yes.
So, in terms of kids' exercise, because it's something which is Leo's topic of expertise, I'll pass it to Leo. So, Leo, when we talk about kids' exercise, first of all, let's start with the difference. What's the difference between kids' exercise and normal exercise?
Children's exercises are normally performed, obviously, a little bit with greater care. Because when your young children are still developing, obviously, and their bone structures are not really completed, can quite easily tear a muscle, could have a bone injury quite easily. So we have to be very, very careful on what exercises and how they've been performed. Now, I'll be quite honest, I've been to many gyms, I've seen many instructors teaching, and they're the old school methods that, like I was taught many years ago when I was a youngster. Certain things like bouncing on top of exercises, i.e. like splits position, that when you have your legs split open and you try to bounce on top to trying to get further down to the floor, it's not recommended, and if not, it's really detrimental. I think the main thing is really to be able to stay up and do the latest courses that are available, so we are kind of aware of what we should and should not be teaching. So me, every couple of years I do new and refresher courses to do with fitness, martial arts, anything. To be honest, every year or so I go to different seminars, so I get involved in the circuit quite a bit. So any new changes, same as the refereeing and the judges that judging that I do for the WACO karate federations as well. I keep on top of the latest rules, etc., and the latest methods of teaching, and actually the latest gadgets that they have to help inspire your teaching and get you to be able to become a better martial artist as well as a better person.
So, in terms of kids' exercise, as you said, we have to do it with more delicacy and because it's very sophisticated. So we have to be very, very careful for their exercises and what we can and what they can do and can't do. So, in terms of kiddies, what are the best exercise to start with?
I mean, obviously on a child, depending on what age. I mean, I did start my kids quite early, but normally we recommend anything over 5 years old. Even before 5, they should be doing basic exercises at home. You know, walking is an exercise on its own, and you don't really need anyone to teach you how to walk. That's quite straightforward. But I mean, walking, slight jogging around the house, maybe have a little light ball, like I have a sponge ball at home, which they kick around. Nothing really gets damaged with that, and they move from one room to another sometimes, and you know they get to do a little bit of different exercise. We play hide and seek. You know, all these kind of things are things that we get involved with our kids, and secondly gives them some kind of exercise. Going outside to the park, I mean walking to the park rather than driving. You know, I'm guilty. I drive to the parks normally. There are a couple of parks near my house, and I do appreciate when the kids do go there, they go on their bikes. So that's another form of exercise where they're actually cycling to where they need to go. So anything like that, even swimming, I have actually incorporated swimming once every week, if not every week, every other week in their timetable, so that they have to go swimming. We have been to quite a few different centres where they are learning to swim, and they've had basic lessons and passed a couple of levels, first, second levels, I think. So, you know, I think it's very important that children start exercise at a young stage, and they are, you know, when I say exercise, I don't mean they're going to the gym, you know, at this age, because, you know, most gyms, children are not allowed up to a certain age. So, you know, because health and safety doesn't allow, because of the weights and because the adults, and they have to keep separate from them, first of all, and secondly, to be able to be safely be able to use the equipment. So, yeah, I recommend when we're doing exercises with kids, the person that's actually showing the children exercise, if it's fun and games, that's good. Most people are quite you know, good at doing that. But when you find other stretches or other exercises that you do, you have to be very, very careful, because the body, the muscles, everything are a lot more tender on a child than they are on an adult. So adult can normally know that's my limit. I know I should stop there, for example. When a child will probably try to impress the parent or the coach or teacher, and maybe trying to go a bit too much, too far, too soon, and then obviously injuries arise.
Okay, in terms of the best exercise for kids can do, what is the best exercise you can say?
Well, I wouldn't like to nail it down just as what the best exercise is, because there is no real best exercise. But I think overall, generally, I think if that was me on a child, I think any form of fitness of running, so any exercise that involves that, which is a lot. Any games, when you do football, you do rugby, they're all running. So anything of that nature I would recommend. Swimming again comes top as well. A lot of parents I know are neglecting swimming, for the kids, because I know it's hard work and you have to go and sit there and you have to wait while other parents are there, and it's time consuming, and you're only having a 45-minute lesson when you've actually spent almost half the day preparing for it, going there, waiting, and then coming back. But unfortunately, that is what we need to be doing, I think, with all our children, and that so they do realize that swimming is important and it is very good fun exercise, and before you know it, it's not. The time elapses really quickly, and before you know it, it's time to go home. But saying that, I mean, I do take them to lessons, but I have actually taken them myself, where I try to make every fortnight at least where I go with them, and they're in the pool and I teach them different things, bits and pieces, and
obviously they're kids,
they can do their little stretches in the water, because the buoyancy of the water does help, and therefore less risk of them actually tearing any muscles.
Acha, in terms of because we have a treat, so definitely after the break we have your son showing us what are the best exercises to do, and he will be showing. So what exercises will be there for treat?
I'm going to keep it very basic, really. I think we might have shown you some of these exercises before. The complete basics that everyone should be able to do. We don't want to do anything too advanced for the kids. We just want to show that there's upper half exercises, bottom half, meaning top half of the body and bottom half of the body, and cardio, which is your heart rate, really is what we need to be working in the range. So the range of that would be anything where you starts to quicken your heart rate. So normally your resting heart rate would averagely be probably about 70 beats per minute. When you start jumping around in that, it starts coming up 80, 90, 100, whatever, depending on how intense you're training. So this is what we need to do, same as with the children. We need to increase their heart rate, so they start getting the aerobic type training, and that could be through swimming, that could be walking, gentle walk leading to sprints, jogging. That could be quite a few things. That could be even when they're playing football, because they have to run after the ball, they have to kick it, their heart rate goes up, and then when the ball goes to the opposite side of the field, these guys are on the opposite side. If you're a defender, you're waiting for the ball to come up your end, so you are having a cool down, as it were, to get your breath back. So that is quite good as well for the kids. So any kind of sports activity, I guarantee, I recommend for the kids. And on top of that, like I said, they would need to be doing other exercises themselves. So some kind of gentle exercises at home that parents can wear. And what he'll be showing would be basic top half body exercises that everyone should know. Basic press-ups, a couple of different variations and slightly better positions for people who are maybe a bit more intermediate and advanced. Basic squatting maybe we're going to show without any weight, obviously. The body weight itself, the weight of the person, is what we're going to be opposing against when we're doing exercises. And maybe some kind of stomach sit-ups, leg raises, a couple of bits and pieces like that, really. And a couple of little stretches, obviously, that we're going to show that we should be done before, my fault, at the end of their training. So when we finish training with the kids, or with any kind of person who does any form of training, should finish off with stretches.
Okay, so it's really nice that you have brought the topic of stretches, because this is something which I do want to know, especially for kids. So when you start your exercise, everybody like us, we normally starts with our body warming up by doing certain bits, and then stretches definitely to start with and to finish with as well. So with stretches, is there any specific stretches which kids should do?
Yes. No, there's specific stretches for everybody, and most of the stretches that adults can do, the kids can do. There's just a few that I would not recommend the children, depending on what level they're at, to be doing certain types of stretches straight away. But there's no safe way that a child should be stretching compared to the adult. The stretches are very similar. Certain exercises we need to be a bit more careful to maybe vary the type of stretch that we do, because most body parts have at least 2-3 different types of stretching. One could be standing up, another one could be seated, another one could be lying down, and each position is slightly easier for the younger child, say. So depending on where your atmosphere, your surroundings, where you are, that could play a role, because we're outside in the park sometimes. Certain exercises we can't do lying down because it's floor, we don't want to go on the floor. And secondly, we're on a muddy little bank, and it's not a level floor, so we need to be somewhere where we can hold on to someone and maybe assist with the stretch. So stretches are important, and if if you can do slight bit of a stretch before you start, there's nothing wrong with you stretching beforehand, but it's more imperative that you finish with the stretch. So the first thing would be the same rules that we have for normal general exercise with everybody, which is just a basic warm-up. So that could be done in many forms, okay? And then once you've warmed up, you do your actual exercise that you're doing. Could be swimming, could be a sport, could be... And at the end of the exercise, that sport that you're doing, we finish off with a cool down, which means we slow everything down. And then a stretch to finish off, lengthen the muscles back. Because obviously muscle fibers now have been contracted during training, during running around. And they're quite sore. So we just basically lengthen them out again so that they don't get overworked.
Okay. In terms of, I know you do martial art exercise classes as well for kids. So the exercise which you will be showing today, is that pretty much same as the basic exercises in martial arts, or are these slightly different?
No, the exercise that they'll be doing, they are used in martial arts. I mean, that's why I've picked the most easiest and basic exercises that everyone knows. Because whenever you talk about push-ups or press-ups, everybody should have an idea of what that means, how to kind of execute it. Maybe not correctly, but at least they know that you'll be pushing your body up and down towards the floor, your chest, and then pushing back up. Squats, as the exercise suggests, in a squatted position. So that's why we pick these exercises. And same as the martial arts that I teach, I try to keep some of the exercises very basic. So yeah, we do press-ups and sit-ups and squats in martial arts, but we do also do them, they're slightly different. We vary them, and I will show a couple of variations today to the basic squatting, for example, and the basic exercises that you're meant to be doing. So when we work in our core, even for the children, core is one of the most important muscles, because there's a big muscle group there, especially for martial arts. Because your center power comes from your core. So we need to show variations of exercises, and certain exercises, if they're done wrong by the children, that could be, quite serious injury or overstretching a muscle and end up, with a tear. So we're trying to make them different for the children slightly. We vary them so that the children can't get it wrong, basically. And if they do get the exercise slightly wrong, that's fine, because no injury can occur.
Okay. Let's ask your son. Sorry, I forgot your name.
Dean.
So, Dean, which is your favorite exercise itself? Which exercise you love doing it?
Press-ups.
Press-ups. And how many press-ups you can do in one go?
60.
Seriously?
Yes.
Wow, 60. I can't do 6 exercises, 6 push-ups in one go. Well, 10 maximum, but not in that way. Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. So, what do you like to do most? Your karate most, or your exercise most, or a bit of both?
A bit of both.
A bit of both. Perfect. And in class, do you show other people as well how to do exercises?
Sometimes.
And do they listen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, in terms of your exercise today, now your dad will be definitely guiding us as well. But in your opinion, how active a person should be? It means how much exercise they should do in your class.
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
Yes.
Okay. Leo, how much exercise a person should do?
I think the children, people overlook that, and they think they're only young kids, they don't need much. They do. I'll be quite honest, and I've mentioned that before on a few programs. On average, I'd say minimum should be 5 days a week, and we're looking about 45 minutes minimum in a day. Okay, so if you times that by 5, that's roughly what they should be doing. Even at school, when they're at school and they've got lessons, they have PE lessons. And if you total the number of hours that they might do over the week, yeah, it's not a bad start, but what we're saying is we can't all just be sitting there in a classroom, right, and just pushing a pen. They do need to be active physically as well as mentally, so we do need to try to move that side off them as well. And hence why my kind of training that I use a lot of the times now, even with the martial arts, we've been going outdoor. You know, here in Britain, we don't get to see much of the sun.
Yeah.
But when we do try to make the most of it, and that goes across the board. You know, whether it's for training or whether it's so. When we do the classes, to be honest, certain places are very good with us, but we normally pay advance on some of the halls. But we're happy to go outside because it makes the kids. And I remember when I was younger, and we went outside a couple of lessons before, rather than sit at home. We actually came to Farley Hill. I remember for a geography lesson, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it so much. I never had no interest in geography before that, but I only found out only the week after that was only one off, and we're never going to be going outdoor for geography again. But it made me feel so happy that look, I'm looking forward to the next geography because I just wanted to be outdoor. And to be honest, I think the kids feel the same way. So when we do get a couple of months of sunshine, if we're fortunate enough to here in England, I do try and take my kids outside. So we normally meet at Wooddown Park or somewhere nice where it's kind of, you know, neutral place where parents can get to as well. And yeah, it'd be a treat for the kids. I let them go around on the swings and that for 5-10 minutes at the start of the class or at the end of the class. So it just gives them a little bit of more of a motivation to come down and say, you know what, we are going to go. Sensi's going to be the Sensi, meaning my teacher, instructor. He'll be there looking after us, and you know, we're going to have a good day.
Definitely. And when we are especially kids, when the kids are physically actively doing something in an outdoor, it's always fun.
That's the most important thing. I mean, I'll be honest, my classes aren't always fun. You know, that'd be lying if I said, you know, I make it really fun for the kids. Yes, they play bulldog. They have our games. You know, they play tag. We get ball tag. We got light ball that we use, like I said, made of sponge. You know, we let them play football the other day, just for like 5 minutes before the lesson starts. At the start, gives them warmed up, gives them interacting. Great. And we go outside. We play tag. And we go there. We play running from here to the nearest tree trunk and back. Touch hands. The next person goes. So you know, we try to do that. But at the end of the day, my lessons are made in a way or compiled in a way where the progression of the child, if I drew a chart of a child who first started with me, at whatever level he was at, I expect a 3 months increase on his standard. Yes, during that 3 months period, he'll have a up and down days, by all means, we all do. But overall, the progression will be from start to 3 months. That's why there's a grading. That's the grading, that's the standard. You need to meet that. So having fun and games and that really, you know, I try to do here and there for them to keep them happy. But mainly trying to teach them a lesson. And the lesson that I teach them is kickboxing. They learn how to box, they learn how to kick, they learn how to defend, they learn how to be offensive, they learn how to be defensive, and it brings them out their shyness. And I try to promote with the class the 3 C's that we use a lot of the time. And very quickly, Dean, do you know what the 3 C's are?
Yes.
By the way, guys, this has not been programmed in him. Hopefully, we didn't have any time to come down to actually get him down here today, so we had to bring him in. Didn't even know what we were going to do. Was not planned, but he should know this because we do practice this in the class. So what are the 3 C's?
Courtesy, confidence, and courage.
Right, so those are the 3 things we actually promote. Do you know what they mean? What does courtesy mean?
To be respectful.
To be respectful, yes, to everybody. That includes, you know, your teacher, your parents, wherever you are. Very quickly, because we're going to be running out of time in a minute. We're going to be coming down to the halfway mark.
Yeah.
The second C, okay, which is confidence.
To believe in yourself.
Yes, to believe in yourself. To have a go, basically. If I ask a question, try not to be shy. That's really what it is. Whether you're wrong, it doesn't make any difference. Yeah? And the third C, which is?
Courage.
Courage. What does that mean?
Not to be afraid.
Yes, try not to be afraid. Obviously, everybody gets afraid. There's always times where everybody's afraid. You can't say they're not. We try not to show it so much. That's what it is, trying to control the fear. So whenever you're ready to fight in the ring and you see another person, your first thing that comes in your mind is, wow, you know. And so is the same thing the other person is thinking. And we just need to channel that and control that. That's all it really means. But yeah, good, well done. So this is what we're trying to promote in the class as well. Those 3 C's are very, very important, I think, for children as they're getting older.
So it's courage.
Yeah, it's in that order, and the order is courtesies first for me.
Courtesy.
You must be respectful. Confidence, we build a confidence up in the children. It's so important that they need to be confident in what they do. Yes, they get appraisal, we give them certificates for doing well. Sensi comes over, you get graded, you're well done. But yes, just as bad on the downside, when you're bad, you misbehave, you get told off. It's not messing about there. So you'll be asked the first time to do something, second time you'll be told to do something, and the third time there'll be a punishment. You'll be doing bunny hops, you'll be doing something. And you know what, the amount of children that I've had in my classes over the years, you know how many bunny hops they've been doing, and press ups and sit ups, and they're strong, honestly. So just so that rather than giving them time out, we just give them some exercises to do, and that does really make a big difference.
Definitely, and that will keep them active as well, and definitely
mentally as well,
mentally and physically. And wow, on that note, I must say, wow, the time has passed really quickly. We on the second half of the show, when we come back, we will have a treat by Dean, and he will be showing us under his dad's instruction that what are the best exercises to do and how can we execute them. So don't go anywhere. If you want, can come online and have a look on Facebook Live, because we are on Facebook Live, so you can see all the actions which he will be doing on the show, and definitely I will be commentating and definitely.
Guys, if there's any questions, anything, just text us or just call into the radio station.
Definitely. Stay tuned. We will be right back after the short messages.
You're listening to an Inspire FM podcast, making available our popular programs from our daily broadcast on Inspire FM.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening to all our listeners and viewers. I welcome you all back to the Health and Fitness Show. I'm your host Fahad Martin for this evening, alongside with my co-host Leo Nazar and his son Dean Nazar. Dean, say hello.
Hello.
And Assalamu alaikum, brother Leo.
Walaikum salam, brother. Walaikum salam.
This program is broadcasting live from the studios of Inspire FM today on 1st of August 2019 for our lovely people in Luton and the surrounding areas of Luton, like Dunstable, Harpenden and Bedford, and reaching all the way to everybody through our airwaves on our web apps, on our website, and definitely through our Facebook FM, Inspire FM page on Facebook. So before we went on break, we were talking about giving you guys a treat. So here you go, guys, a treat for you. We have Dean Nazar with us, and he will be showing us some exercise with his dad, giving us the instructions of how to do those exercises. And definitely, if you have any questions or queries regarding our show tonight, please give us a call on 01582 481822, or you can send your questions via text message and WhatsApp on 07779 481822. So, Leo, the mic is yours.
Right, first of all, I just want to say that nothing's been rehearsed. We haven't gone through anything like this. I'm just going to tell him certain things. He's been doing them in the class. So hopefully he remembers the names and how to execute them properly, because he does sort of help sometimes the newer students that come in, 5-6-year-olds, new kids that come in. He's been there for a little while, so he does help them, help coaches. So hopefully he understands what he's doing.
Okay, cool.
Right, Dean, you ready to go?
Yes.
Right, can we take that off your ears then, mate? Good lad. Okay, just nice and easy. Just going to listen to what I say and then just follow the lead, basically. So a nice simple exercise which everyone should know how to do, basic push-ups or press-ups as it's called. Okay, so we're going to be pressing our body basically up and down off the floor. So we're going to be in a position with our hands quite wide like that, and our toes up on the ball of the feet together, and body in a straight line. From there we go right the way down towards the floor and all the way up. Okay, keep going. So get a few of those in. Depending how well you do this, yes, I timed him before. He does 62, I think, in 2 minutes non-stop.
Wow.
But for today, That will do. Well done. Good job. So when we're doing these press-ups, again, we're trying to keep the coaching points straight here, and we need to understand. Now, when we're beginning, there are other ways of doing this, and we're going to just break this right down. That's more of the advanced person who's done the press-ups before. But we do box press-ups. So if you could just show us basic. So he's in the box position here, okay? So then all he's going to do is just bend forward and down.
So this is the...
That's the complete beginner's position. Who's never done press-ups before. I'm quite sure that nearly everybody can do this non-stop, at least 10, if not more, without any problems. Once you do a certain amount, we can start moving into a three-quarter position, and that is just raising your legs off the floor like he has. So three-quarters of his weight now is on his arms and chest, and down and up he goes, just like that. There you go. So when you can do 20 of those, we normally move on. That'll do, son. Stand up. Then we move on to the full press-up position. So those are the beginner stage, intermediate stage, and how to do a full press-up. And then even then, if you can't do a whole press-up, we're not going to demonstrate this, but if you can't do a full push down and up, we do partial reps, which is bending the elbows very slightly. So we're bending them only slightly, then straightening back up, rather than taking our chin or our chest all the way down to the floor. So that's just an upper body exercise. What does that work? Do you know? I haven't told you, but what muscles does that work? Guess, what does it hurt? Where it normally feels tight and hurts, that's the muscles that we're working. It works the muscles of our chest, it works the muscles of our shoulders, deltoid, okay, our pectorals, our deltoids, and it works our triceps, okay? So those are the different muscle groups that it actually works. People say it's a top half exercise, great, but it's actually chest, shoulders, and the triceps. Okay, so these are the muscles that are really getting engaged while we're doing this. Yes, the core also gets engaged because you're in that position. Legs are getting engaged because you're up there, but then that doesn't really work them. Okay, as a percentage, the main muscle groups that are working is chest, shoulders, and arms. Okay, so we're going to go to a body shunt. A body shunt means we're actually taking the weight of us or the exercise, and we're shunting the area from top to bottom. So that was a top half exercise, as it were, because our chest and arms are on the top half. Our bottom half exercise now is straightforward, basic squats. So legs, feet straight, pointing forward, your feet hip width apart, arms forward, and all you do is bend down, head up, and go all the way back up, nice and slow. Not too far down, we're going far as 90-degree angle here, okay? So when we go down, we only go to a 90-degree angle and we come back up. You know, I'm quite sure really everybody's capable of doing that. That'll be fine, okay? So these are the basic exercises that we do for the legs. We also do another exercise which is for the bottom half of the legs, which is the calves. Basic for kids, again, calf raises. So put our feet together and the hands can be forward. In this case, we are working other muscle groups. Leave that for now. We're going to go complete basics. Just up and down on your ball of the foot. So squeezing up and squeezing back down again. Okay, so this works the lower part of the calves down here. So we've done a top half exercise, top half of the legs, top half, and we've got the bottom half of the legs, which is the calves. Very basic exercises. Normally on average, to be honest, in our class, the kids do on average 20 press-ups, depending on ability. As you get higher grade, like my son, we do 50 press-ups. This is non-stop. And the same as these leg raises. With leg raises, basic beginners will start with 30, intermediate maybe 50, and advanced will be going about 75. So this is roughly the number of repetitions that we do in the class. Okay, so that will be fine. So just basic exercises for the kids for shoulders and forearms. Okay, so all we do is put the arms up, we incline them as high as our chin, maybe eye level, so they're slightly higher than straight ahead, and that will put some weight on the shoulders. Okay, so already at that position that's hurting him. The longer he holds it, that is. And we try to squeeze into a fist position with our hands and then release. So as you can see, as we make a fist position, the forearm gets nice and tight, and as you release, it gets nice and loose. And that's really a very basic exercise for shoulders, okay, and our forearms. We do alternate that slightly by putting your arms up to the side. So if you can just put your arms straight up to the side. Same exercise, a little bit higher with the arms, okay, there, and we're working the shoulders starting to hurt already at that angle, and we're squeezing again into a fist position, and we're working the shoulders because we're inclining the arms, and we're also squeezing into a fist position, which then works our muscles of our forearm. So those are the little basic exercises on that part of the body. So we've got some top half and bottom half exercises. We do actually mix exercises together, and we start to do also, which is conditioning training. And this like press ups like we just did, and sit ups, which is we're going to go through next. And the squats are the basic exercises which are need to be done by everybody. So those are compound exercises, which compound means more than one muscle group is involved in this. So when you're doing legs squats, the whole of the legs are working. The hamstrings at the, sorry, my mistake, the hamstrings at the back of your leg, the quadriceps at the front of your legs, thighs, the gastrocnemius soleus, which are your calf muscles at the bottom half of your leg, and your gluteus maximus, which is your backside. So all the muscles around the backside, front and back of the top half of the leg and the bottom half are engaged during exercise, and that's why it's called a compound exercise. I want you to just show sit-ups. If you lie down, face the same way you are, lie down, basic sit-ups. All we do is have our legs together, knees on feet, or they can be slightly wider apart, it's up to you, but they're at a 90-degree angle here. And I'm going to show you very basic sit-ups. We don't curl all the way up. We just want the shoulder blades to be lifted off the floor. So go a bit more lifted off the floor. Go a bit more forward. All right. Okay there? Right. So bring the feet back. That's better. Now use your arms to come up. This is again for the basic beginners. And that's all he's doing. See his shoulder blades coming off the floor? That is all we're trying to do. He doesn't need to curl all the way up. It changes the stomach area muscles by curling all the way up. Makes a big round ball shape here. Makes the stomach hard still, but we want to try to angle it, so we try to do down the bottom like he's doing, and then we also go all the way up to the top and come back halfway and then go back up again. Halfway, that would be here, and then back up. There you go. So swing your arms right to the top, stop at my arms, then go back up again, and then back down, and then back up again. Go back down and back up again. Let's go. So those will be doing different angles of his stomach. So stand up. Now stay where you are. There are other core exercises. Very quickly, I'll just show you them. Hands under your bottom. Sit. Legs straight ahead. Off the floor. These are called leg raises. So he's raising his legs, feet together, off the floor, engaging his core. Okay? So that should be quite strong. Leg raises means up slightly and back down. Sit. Just a little bit more lower to the floor. That's it. So nice and controlled. And again, depending on what grade, you could be doing 20, 30, 40, 50. Sometimes we do it timed, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or a minute. So these are now engaging certain more muscles of the leg and the core here. Another exercise would be on your front, please. And we're going to be in the plank position. So now the forearms, the forward part of the arms, as we say, okay, that part of touching the floor. So his hand, his wrist, his forearms, and his toes at the back. Head straight forward, back in a straight line. That is the position of the plank. And this again works top half of the body as well, engages the core mainly, okay, and it does the legs as well. So yes, you can see now it's getting hard for him. Yes, I think he can do a few seconds longer. So, he's meant to be quite good at training, so we can let him do that. Okay, that'll do, young man. Okay, so those were the strength type of exercises. Those will increase strength. Okay, the basic fundamental exercise that we done. Now, we also mix them together, okay, with cardio and strength and conditioning. Our cardio type training, and this would be done at the start, okay, which I should have really gone in order. So very quickly, cardio exercises would be, for example, high knees. So he's going to be showing you how to bring the knees up. So just keeping up on his toes and bringing the knees up. Keep going. Sit. Those who are finding it hard, slow it down. One up, then the other one. So the cardio effect is still on there. At the same time, pulling up and down the leg. Okay? We also do flicking your heels behind. So he's now on the move doing that. All we're trying to do is raise up, okay, our chest, our heart rate, basically. Okay? We do jogging on the spot. Okay? And very simple jumping jacks or star jumps, as some people call them. Okay, nice and easy. And again, this is a bit more. Someone's doing it for a little while. If not, slow it down.
Do it on this way. Yes,
that's it. So 2 stages out and hold, in and close up. So when you're going out, your arms are out, your legs are out. When you're coming in, they're together. So that's really what we expect people to be able to do on that. So with that, that's fine. That would be the start. When you're doing any exercises, that would be the actual warm-ups we do. We do jogging, running, sprinting as well, but that's basically what you just saw here. After that, they will do other exercises, which is the strength and condition. Before they do the strength, I just jumped straight into the strength exercises because I did say before the break we're going to start with press-ups. But press-ups, sit-ups, we will do more a little later. So we start off with the warming up, which we just did, the cardio. Then it's the strength and condition training, which is mixing of them both. And that would be heart rate as well as body. So now he's going to be in a plank mountain climbing position. This way. And all he's going to be doing is bringing his knees towards his arms. So all the body there, obviously, the weight on his arms, on his shoulders, okay, holding him up, and at the same time he's bringing his legs forward, working his core. From there, stop. Let's bring knee thrusts, so knees are coming in and out. That's what we're doing, okay? And we're going to try doing that with a little bit more advanced, the more advanced for the guys who have been for a little while. We're going to add a press up on as well. So press up, in, out with the legs, and pushing up. Okay, so this is a little bit more advanced. Okay, that'll do, young man. Okay, so this is strength and conditioning. Is actually heart rate is coming up. If you did just the press ups or the sit ups on on their own, the heart rate doesn't come up as much. It increases strength. Strength and conditioning training is conditioning the heart as well. So we're bringing the heart rate up at the same time. As for the cardio training, it's just bringing the heart rate up. So jogging, star jumps doesn't do much for the muscles. Doesn't strengthen them, but it brings the heart rate up. Okay. So that's what the difference is. So you start off with the basic warm-up of the body, then that's the cardio, then we'll go into strength and conditioning training, then we'll do the strength training on his own, so we're bringing the heart rate right the way down, okay? Yeah, so the strength training we just done, press-ups, sit-ups, squats, calf raises, yeah, squeezing and making to a fist with the arms inclined, yeah, shoulder exercises as well as forearms. So that would be the strength time. Now they'll be doing their normal routine of whatever they're doing. If it's football, they'll be playing football. If it's kickboxing, they'll be doing the kickboxing, yeah, etc., whatever. And then when we finish the whole lot of whatever we're doing, we then have cool down. So if whatever they were doing at the end, if they were running, they'd be marching on the spot. So if you just demonstrate a basic march, all he's doing is moving his arms up and down and his legs at the same time, like a march. Okay, so that would bring the heart rate down rather than sprinting. That would be then the next stage down would be jogging, and then the next stage is just bringing his arms up and down. And the last stage, obviously, after that is when we finish the entire lesson near enough, just before we finish, we do stretches. So I'm not going to go through the whole body stretches. I don't think. If you just pick a couple of muscles.
I don't mind. I love to see the whole body stretches.
I'm not sure if you're going to have time. Okay, right. Just for you.
A bit kind of flavor for. We have what 7-8 minutes now.
Okay. Right, well, like I said, nothing's planned here. He doesn't know what he's doing at the minute because he just knows because I've been teaching him over time. So we're going to go through the stretches then. Looks like we're going to do all of them. Whenever we do stretches, it's always good to remember, try to get the big muscles stretched first, or the muscles that you actually just worked. And obviously in kickboxing, you're going to work all your muscles. So then we're going to go in order. We normally go bigger muscles or we go from the bottom to the top, etc. So we always start, if you're going from the bottom to the top, we start with the big muscles. So if you're doing legs, we will start with the big muscles. And the biggest muscles is the quads, 4 muscles there. So quad exercise, okay, a stretch, quite straightforward. There's many ways of doing this exercise. I'm going to just show them an easy one. Obviously just put your hand against something, so you're leaning on something, raise one leg off the floor, that's it. So he's grabbed his ankle, his foot, yeah, pointing the knee straight down. These are teaching points. Knee points down, hip points forward, and that stretches on the front of the leg. And again, we hold each stretch minimum is 8 to 10 seconds. Okay, now depending if you've got tight quads and you want to have them stretched longer, then the time goes longer, 20 to 30 seconds. And then obviously shake it out, and then we do the other side. Opposite muscle and opposing muscle to the quadriceps is your hamstrings, back of your legs, back of your thighs, and that is 3 muscles, I believe. Yes, they are. So 3 muscles stretch. Once you've done those 2, it'll be the hamstrings, feet together. And maybe I would probably do them for the younger kids. I'd ask them to sit on the floor Same position that would have been standing up. So now he's rather than standing up, sitting down, and he's trying to go to touch his toes, keeping his knees in a straight line. So the knees are extended out straight, and he's going as far as he can towards his toes. Don't worry so much if you can't touch your toes, guys. As long as you guys keep your knees straight, the exercise, you'll feel the stretch in the back of your hamstrings. That's what the exercise is all about. Great. So once he's done that, so that stretches the front and back of the thigh. Stand up, young man. Let me show us a muscle calf stretch for the bottom of the leg. Now, this could be one leg in front of the other one, leg straight or in the air. So put one leg straight in front of you and lift the toe up. Bend the back leg and straighten the front leg. So there is the stretch. If he goes towards his toe with this hand, that will be the hamstring stretch again. Come slightly forward, maybe, I think you're saying. Yeah? So that would be the hamstring stretch. But now all you do from that position is raise the toe up, right towards the ceiling. Keep that straight. Now the stretch will go from here down to the bottom of the calf. So now he's stretching the calf. So that's another muscle stretch, which is a calf. So bottom half done, near enough. There are adductors, abductors. And glutes. We don't need to go through every single stretch, I don't think. I'm just going to go through major muscle groups. Then coming up at the top half, we're going to start with our chest, big muscle there. So stretching the chest is many ways. One is pushing the elbows all the way through. So chest stretch is that way, expanding the rib cage basically. So we can do that many ways. You can do it like he's doing it. Put your hands on your buttocks. Push the elbows together at the back. That's another way of doing it. Okay, have your arms up here, pushing back. Okay. So there's quite a few ways. As long as you're expanding the rib cage, we're stretching the chest. Opposite to that would be stretching your back. And just like what we're doing, expanding the rib cage, now we're going to be expanding the back. So opposite way round. Back stretch, arms forward. Elbows wider apart. There we go. Okay, watch my hands. Here, you've done this before in the class. Stretch it out. See the stretch now? This is going around like this. And we're stretching the back. This opposing muscles to what we just did. And that is a stretch for the top half of the back. There are lat stretches, moving side to side, and that, like I said, we're not here to go through every single muscle. There are over 200 muscles in the body, and I don't think we're going to. But most of them are interlinked with each other, so we don't need to go. If there were 203 muscles, bones in the body, I don't know how many muscles there are in the body. To be honest, that's something for me to check out. But we don't need to train every single muscle group. So there'll be a bicep stretch, there's a tricep stretch, there's a forearm stretch, that would be the arms. Then it's a deltoid stretch, your shoulder stretch, in other words. There's a pectoral stretch, chest, back, okay, latissimus dorsi, in other words. Okay, stretching your lats muscles. And we're just going to finish off on arms. We've done chest and back. Shoulder stretch. How do we do a shoulder stretch? Arm across the body. Show us a shoulder stretch. Yes. Pushing the arm right the way across. We'll do a stretch on his deltoid.
There are 600 muscles in the human body.
Oh, thank you very much. And the bones, was it 206? 203? Yeah? Thank you. Good.
Yep.
Thanks, my friend Google, yeah?
Yes.
Google does it again. Excellent. So we don't need to have 600 exercises for stretching every muscle. Most of them are obviously joined together, and we work them as a group. Good. So we've done both sides. Arm up, keep the front. And you're facing that way. Sit. So all you're doing is bringing this across. Who stretches that? A couple of more we're going to finish off on. Yeah. Tricep stretch, back of the arms. So arm goes behind your head. And push the other arm back. Sit. So from the back. And down, and that's all he's doing. So he's stretching here, the back of your tricep. Okay. And what I like to say is, please, viewers and listeners, I have a little job for you. If you can obviously just let us know here. Don't show them, please, Dean. Can you guys get back to me on how to stretch your bicep? Many people ask me this, and I'll be honest, many years ago in the personal training course, I didn't know this myself. So opposite to this muscle, the tricep, how do we stretch the bicep? Okay, just the bicep. So, yes, I think Fahad is showing us an exercise here. Very, very well done. He's actually showing us this exercise here. Yes, that does stretch our biceps, but it also stretches our forearm. I want an exercise just for the bicep, for that muscle itself. So that muscle, that stretch, excellent, stretches bicep. Secondary muscle as well. Primary muscle would be the forearm. So that's the inner forearm it stretches, really. You'll feel it more there than you would do on the bicep. But yes, it does do that as well. I want an exercise stretch just for one well, let's say one muscle, the two muscles of the bicep. So if anyone can let us know, how do we stretch, or send a picture in or photo or something, or go on Google and check, that'd be something handy to do, because very few people actually know how to stretch the bicep muscle, the two muscles of the arm, that's why it's called bi, how to actually stretch those. So those are the basic stretches that we just went through. No, Fahad, I'm sorry. Fahad's showing us the same deltoid stretch that Ivy just did. Bring the arm across the body, but Google doesn't know it.
Yeah, that's what Google says.
Google is, maybe you misinterpret that.
Yeah.
Okay. There's, like I said, a lot of these exercises that you guys are showing me, they do work bicep as a secondary muscle. Okay, so meaning there's other muscles that are primary muscles stretched. Are we getting there now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Farah did demonstrate to me something that looked a lot more. That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel like.
Right. Now I'm going to make it even harder. Can you guys please let me know an exercise just for the bicep without assistance? Means I don't need a partner. I don't need an object. I don't need nothing to do it with. Just my body. I'm not even going to use so I'm not even going to use my other hand, basically. So Faraz getting a rough idea there. He's trying to work it out. It's quite good, but not right.
Because that's the easiest way of putting,
just remember how the exercises are done. They're stretches, so we need to elongate, lengthen the muscle. How can we lengthen the bicep? So we're trying to do that. That would be the opposite, wouldn't it? People doing that would be contracting it. So we need to obviously lengthen the arm. So that would be something. But let us know on that.
But definitely. When we're back again next month, we will be getting an answer for that particular one. But unfortunately, we have literally passed the time.
Oh, wow.
And we literally have few seconds remaining to end the show. But if you have any questions or queries regarding our show, do get in touch with us via Facebook page or via Inspire FM. But until next time, I will be saying Assalamu alaikum, and thank you so much, brother.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you very much for having me here again, guys.
Definitely. And thank you so much, Dean, for showing us all these lovely exercises.
So thank you very much.
Thank you and bye.
And I must say, it's really nice to see you guys again, and definitely putting you again on the spot, and you are again fulfilling the places where we can. That's all, folks, from our side. Until next week, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Why not tune in to our live stream at inspirefm.org and follow and subscribe to our social media platforms at Inspire FM Luton.